Hey everybody, welcome. This is HBCU Original Just Talk. Listen, we have my main man, the man alone. Listen, and I'm gonna have him pronounced correctly because I always miss stuff. I always mess his name up. It's Mandy alone.
Mandeleon,
Mandy Leon.
the Al Capone of the microphone. What's going
Hey,
on?
listen, and if you guys listen, he has a show coming up real soon. We want to bring that in. We'll do on the show and show you about his new show coming up. Was supposed to launch earlier in the year, but some things happened. But hey, we're gonna make it happen. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But today's show is sponsored by
Swift Pro for all your marketing needs. Want to be a sponsor? It's simple. Just email us for more info. Now back to the show.
Hey, listen, man. We also got my main man Ben. He's on the road. Listen, trucker extraordinaire. He's on the road. This man out there making money. That's money man Ben. Ben, say hello. Can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you on there. Yeah, he's on the road, ladies and gentlemen, so across the country serving this great nation. So, the elephant in the room, today's topic, and we had some conversation offline, was about roughly, man, 70% to 80% of America's population, they do not have $1,000 to $5,000 saved up for a rainy day, an emergency. And just wanted to touch bases on that and see what you guys thought about that.
Yeah, like I was saying, like you said, we was kind of talking backstage. Like the one way I was able to like sum that up is just like, because you was like, man, that's a large number. Like, you ain't really thinking about it, but if you think about how many people out here living paycheck to paycheck, then that's like, if you live in paycheck to paycheck, you for sure you ain't got 5 stacks somewhere just chilling, that you can't get to. I'm just saying, like, and I'm saying that because I mean it takes discipline. I'm not saying that there ain't somebody that ain't living paycheck and they got a little fortune, they got a little nest egg saved away. I ain't saying that, but for the most part, like everything, when things is tight like that, everything becomes an emergency, or there's always some type of emergency that happens to where you be like, because you either take from your little emergency stash, or you go deal with some people that you don't want to go deal with about this bread that you don't want to have to go, you know what I mean? Like,
I think we all been there. We've all been there before. Listen, I've been to that point where, yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying. So I'm saying, but that's my point. That's the feeling. So instead of dealing with that, you go like, I got something. I don't want to deal with it, but so that stash end up dwelling. And so, like I'm saying, if you live in paycheck to paycheck, that ain't, you know what I'm saying. More likely, you part of that 80-something%. And I mean, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying, right. And it ain't like. When you think about it like that, it's not far fetched. Right. It's people that you think that might be well off. They might make 100. You might have. They might make 100,000 stack. A year, whatever, this and that. But look, you don't know that. You don't know their bills. You see what I'm saying? Because wherever they live and their lifestyle and whatever they do, that costs. So you can't go by what somebody make.
I see like somebody like Ben, man. He can live in his truck, man. He on the road. He's straight. He ain't got no bills. He got the microwave up in there. He just chilling.
Go stretch out in the back. Pull up in the parking lot. Pull up in Walmart parking lot.
Yep.
And so, like because Ben he's into a lot of finance and different things and investing money. Ben, what do you think about today's climate, man? 2025. If you don't have any investments on your portfolio, is it a negative for you, especially for an adult over 40 years old?
Yeah. I think a lot of people look at it as an option, and I think right now that's like in today's time with the inflation and everything going on in the world. I think it's a necessity. Like I think just working a 9 to 5, that's not enough. Like you gotta have like some type of either if you're not happy with what you're doing, then you need to have some type of exit plan, or just trying to find something that you can learn and get good at and master, and have that on the side, because the inflation going up, jobs not paying more, and people need to. There's a lot of it's a lot of information out there. All these people walking around with these $1,000 cell phones, and they got like a little mini computer on their hip, and they're not utilizing it for all getting their money's worth. You can Google anything, and you can learn a skill in anything, and we got people turning things that's not even a business into a business, like with baseball cards and stuff. So it's really no
Yeah.
excuse.
I think it's no excuse either, man. Nowadays, it's so much access, man. Like, if I had the tools these young people have today,
Yeah.
20 years ago, like I'd be a billionaire. But they're suffering with, I think, now too much information.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what? But I think but I don't want to, for any young folks that's out there watching this, I don't want them to think that we looking at all the ones that's not, because there's a lot of them, as you said, that actually utilizes information. There's a lot of the young entrepreneurs that's out there that really taking advantage of that, like you said, they invested and they understand this game better than a lot of us do, because they learned it at a young age, and it was just part of they gravitated to it and learned it. So it's a lot of them that's out there that's really doing it, and they look at it different as to a lot of us that like being an entrepreneur when we was a kid was a lemonade stand or a paper route. You know what I'm saying? Like or being a caddy somewhere, like when we was young. I'm just saying, I don't know how old y'all is, but I'm just saying.
But I'm looking at some of these kids that are doing things with the within their own time, but it's not a lot of them who are making money. It's a few, but the masses are not making money. We talk about the masses, and that's the ones who are still struggling. They don't really know, because I think sometimes it's an overload, man. They got this seminar, they got this program, they got this this book, this that this. So many Instagram, TikToks, different videos coming out like every other week. It's so and they haven't even conquered the first one, but they trying something else a week later.
But I think it just goes back to what we being shown, just like all the stuff that we didn't know, like like it's just like the news that's put out there, right? Like you don't be realizing, like, this is HBCU, right? Mm-hmm. You don't realize, like, we don't realize how many teenagers that's 14, 15 that's graduating college, right? Or that's entering college, because we don't talk it enough, not unless you just happen to scroll and see, like, hey, and then somebody say, look, we ain't talking about this enough, right? So, I mean, like, because I know, like, just people in general, like a couple people I know, like some of my nieces, some of my, like they go, like I got a niece that went to, like, they go to Georgia, right? They go to Georgia, and I had another niece that like graduated from like Savannah State, right? And they both like had like one's interning right now, like in Texas, and the other one's like like she actually like travels and like they got good, what I'm saying? Like they're in a position to do great things, is what I'm saying, and that just don't get talked about enough as much as because we see the silliness. And we see these reality shows, and we see these, these networks where they, and the pop the balloon stuff, and we see, this is stuff we see.
Hey, on that note, I want to cut you off, man. Ben got a trucking show, man, Trucking for Love. For anybody want to tune in, man, Monday through Friday. For everybody to know, man.
Stop playing, man.
But I feel you though, man. These young people like your niece and them, they are a dime a dozen though.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Everybody doesn't get the opportunity to be able to do what they're doing. And then like Ben, what he's doing, he's young. You know what I mean? He's on the road. He's going state to state, traveling, making big bucks. hey, if you're watching, it's an opportunity for you to do that. Some of you may not make it, within the boardroom, or may not be, a
The
factory
CDL.
job. Get that CDL, and create an opportunity for yourself. You still can make the $100,000 plus, on the road. Especially if you're young, you don't have no kids. You can go out there and do it. You know what I mean? Because I think, I'll be honest with you, man. In 15, probably 20 years from now, the way that the college degree is going to look totally different. Most jobs probably won't even require it. It would probably require you just to have a certificate. You know what I mean? Or just the way that everything is moving, man.
And you know what? I think everything is different. I used to think things was going to be different when I was younger, when I was 25, right? And when I say that, I just had this conversation with my dad because, like right when I got out the service, when I got out the service, I was 22, right? So the same year, my dad had just retired from the steel mill for 30 years, right? Like the same year, right? So like he retired in May, and I got out the service in October. Right. But what I'm saying is though, but I was a little old, but we would have these conversations and about Social Security and and all
Right.
this and working and
Right.
you gotta work because what he did, what like his last couple years, like I think he said they used like your last 8 years or so or whatever, and they
Uh-huh.
used that amount for your pension, right?
Right.
Like your last total amount. So he was working all these doubles and doing all of that, right? But so his whole thing was about Social Security. I used to tell him, I'd be like, look, man, I'm not concerned about getting no Social Security check when I get to that age. For one, I don't think it's gonna be there. Right. And two, I'm not gonna be in a point in my life where I'm gonna be like so like that's just gonna be another check or something to come in. I'm not gonna be like pressed about that in a sense, like I'm worried about how I'm gonna pay my bills because of that check. If it, but the most part, I was just like, I didn't even think it exists or would be around when I got to the age of that age anyway. And for one, I always thought it was ridiculous that you had to work like when I was younger, and now I'm
Right.
older. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, when I was in my 20s, I'm like, man, you got to work to be 65. Like, man, you gotta be,
I mean,
like, why you can't think to be like more successful sooner and not be like in a worker's mentality? Because I was just one of those people that just didn't think like that. Like, man, I'm,
Right.
come on, man, this is, I'm one of them people that question
So
stuff. Like, hold up, this
look,
is crazy.
hey, we bring in Jails on the line, and co-host, and he can vouch for even with the program that he's running, Runway to Purpose. A lot of them don't have any type of ground to take off,
Mm-hmm.
and so he's trying to build that so they can help them take off, even to start that, because they don't have, a lot of these young people are lost, man, and they're getting all the information from TikTok. You know what I mean? A lot of times, so this generation, it's a little different, man, like you said. Uh, and it's moving at light speed though. But then a lot of them I see are crashing out too. Because they go look for a program, they follow on some of this information, and then it don't pan out. They back to square one. So, Jail, what do you think, Jail? We're talking about,
Yeah, man. What's up, brothers? How y'all doing, man? Good to see y'all on the line.
What's going on?
we're talking about
Um,
today, roughly 70 to 80% of people, who don't have that, even the basic $1,000 saved up, man, for a rainy
yeah,
day.
yeah, it's sad, and I think it requires, uh, mentorship for the whole family.
Mm,
Um, it really does because even the families that are lost. I mean, they really are, and they need this kind of a kind of platform to give them the information. But they need um, just that personal intervention uh, with someone that can really help the family, help heal the family. Father's gone, nobody's at the crib like that, and they just trying to make it. They just trying to make it the best way they can. A lot of times, when you don't have that leadership in the house. It's just a bad situation. These kids don't have any life skills. They don't know how to communicate. Uh, you know, I was talking to a brother today, man. And a lot of these kids ain't never cut grass.
Hey,
Yeah, they never cut
Brandon
grass.
Hustle. I went to house back in the day.
Yeah, they never had those kinds of opportunities. And then a lot of them are really severely lazy,
Mm.
really severely lazy, and really don't want too much of nothing. So
Said
we got to get in
severe.
these schools, we got to get in these neighborhoods, we got to get in front of these families, man, and really try to help some of our children. Really, so that's sort of my mission. That's what Runway to Purpose is all about. Really teaching them some life skills, and hoping in hopes that one day they would grab hold to something that they could gain some mastery over and begin to do something, different, change the trajectory of the whole family, and do something, that they could feel proud about, um, and they can stand on. And so that's one of the missions that we had.
And see, like John, you touched on that. Like Ben right here. Ben is building. He's on the road. He's a successful driver, and he's young. He's up and coming, and he's going to have his own fleet of trucks. Pretty soon. Pretty soon. And he's grinding, man.
That's
California,
beautiful.
Washington State, Mexico. He's all over the place. Chicago, Miami.
He's seeing the world. He's seeing the world, right?
And here's the thing, y'all. The man is on here live why he's at his job showing you. So you can't make an excuse. You know what I mean? And now some people that hey, if you smoke weed, you can't get the CDL. Then I can't help you on that one. I can't help you. Your piss got to be clean now. You can't be driving tractor trailer out here crack. Hey Ben, tell him about the road, man.
Somebody out there is gonna tell you like they know how to get by. It's one dude out there.
Mm-hmm.
One dude out there like that.
Hey Ben, for those young people who may want to get into your field of work, how is that possible?
They got got a lot of programs like through the Department of Labor where they give out like grant money and stuff like that. Or like say if you work at Amazon, you work there for like a year, they pay for you to go to school for anything you want, and getting your CDL license is one of those options.
Yeah.
Um, and it's usually it run about like if you do pay out of pocket, the schools do have like a payment plan type of thing, and I think it run anywhere from like 5 to 6 thousand for the whole course, and it's like a 4 week program, everything
Mhm.
hands on.
So you saying 4 weeks you can have a CDL?
Yeah, 4 weeks. They put you out there on the yard practicing all day, and they just getting you preparing you for the test at the motor vehicle.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
I actually drive past a school on my way to work every day. There's a CDL school out here by where I stay that I drive. Like I literally drive past not even a mile from my job. And then because you can see, like you see the trucks, you can see, and then you could, like, sometime I ride down the little side street and you can see where they be practicing at, like in the back,
Yeah.
like the little obstacle, whatever. And then I'm right by the highway. I'm right off 20. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's like right off the highway, just anyway. I mean, and it's Atlanta. So
Mm.
if you
Is
learn how
Atlanta
to
the hub?
drive a highway in Atlanta.
It's been is that
Yeah.
the hub? Is Atlanta the hub, right? For truckers?
I think it might be down in Chicago.
Okay, Chicago. Okay.
Yeah, another way too is there's a lot of companies out there, they'll bring you on and they'll train you and get your CDLs for you, and you just gotta commit to working for them for a year, and if not, then you owe them the money back.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot.
I'm just telling people to prepare because we are headed to a recession, man. And I can see it. Um, there's a crisis, man, at hand, and people, like you said, are one step away, man, from like seriously being on the street, literally. like one check away, man. And that's dangerous, to have to be that way, but it's real. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? There's so many young brothers, man, that need to hear from you guys, and they just need real world examples, and then the how tos. How do I do it? Can you help me? Those kinds of things are very necessary, because that's the only way they're gonna get it, man. They're not, a lot of them are not self motivated. And it's just it's sad, man. But
Well,
that's pretty much what's needed, because one of the things
I
that
want to
I'm
contest with you just before
go
you,
ahead,
you move
go
along.
ahead, Vince,
What
go
you
ahead.
said about as far as those people being helped. I wanted to touch base on John just said the first time. Um, the motivating factor. If you're motivated to get up and get on Instagram every morning at 7 before you even say thanks to the Lord and Savior, but you can get on Instagram, then that means you can go down there to the
Hey, he ain't had to get up out the bed to do that. He ain't had to brush his teeth, comb. He ain't had to put no clothes
yeah.
on.
But you
He
gotta
ain't
use that
had to
same
put no
motivation though.
deodorant on, take no shower, or nothing to do all that stuff you said.
Well, once you
Like,
go,
you know, the
listen, go on
thing
your phone, right? Go on your phone and scroll and find a
hey,
CDL, find a certificate program.
but it takes action. But it takes look. He could look up all that stuff. He could look up the school and everything, but it takes action. And
Mm.
the one thing he said that stuck with me. He said severely. He said they are severely like not like man they mad lazy. They really like no. He said severely like so. There's no motivating factor. They ain't never been motivated about nothing because anything they ever known is only it's been fast. It's I get it. I get this fast money. I don't know nothing else. I ain't got time to be working at nobody's spot and somebody talking to me all crazy and they own me talking about sweet this and that. Man, I ain't got that, that's their attitude. You know what I mean? They ain't got like I dealt with these young. Listen, man.
Hey,
I get it.
if feds can lead to one way, and they building multi-billion-dollar prisons
Hey,
at an
and then we'll
alarming
sit
rate.
there and listen, and then get online and listen to that BS.
And
But
guess what? And we need them, because sometimes prison is a motivator.
Oh, now we don't need
Yeah.
no president.
When no, no, listen. When you come to grips with the reality. No, you good. When you come to grips with the reality of the fact that you gotta pay the piper for what you've done. Hopefully, in that space, when you sitting down for a while, you learn something. Like that's that kind of experience is one of the best teachers. I mean, I can't tell you how many young guys that I met that came from out of prison or came from out of a situation where they were incarcerated, and how coming to coming to the reality with all the accumulated decisions that they have made up to that point, they had to be confronted with their own life choices, and those things helped to turn them around, because they didn't like the results that they were getting, and they didn't like the reality that they were living. And
Mm.
so that really sort of caused them to turn around and to think again about the decisions that I made up to this point, and I got to really make a change. Something got to
Yeah.
happen differently in my life, and we got to stop these enablers.
Mm.
My mother is one that has enabled my nephew, man, and he's just, man, just it's terrible, man. And then at the same time, she said, "Oh, I'm tired, John. I want him going." Yeah, but you've enabled him all this time. You have been a part of his
You think
problem.
you think the African American community be enabled the nonsense? Well, I watched last night, man. I was kind of irritated in Philadelphia, man. Young people having a party, whatever fun, and the guys just shooting on top. They hopping and jumping all over the porch, and I'm like, what is the mentality? Where are we going, man? Where are
but you
we
know
at?
what? But you know what? It's just like when you said prison is a motive. Two things. When you said prison is a motivator, right? It's in two different ways. Because see,
Yeah, right.
but for me, when I was a kid, it was those prison movies that was a motivator for me. And when I say that, I'm gonna be specific. Penitentiary 1, Penitentiary 2, Penitentiary 3.
The real
Hey,
Jordan.
look, ain't nobody got time to be dealing with half dead and them and all that.
Yeah,
Ain't got
yeah.
time for
And
all
do
that.
dirt and do dirty and all that.
And, listen, but for real though, like I mean, I was really young. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then I was young in a sense, but I had older brothers that, like, so it was like the friends of my older brothers and then relatives too, like my uncles and all of them. You know what I'm saying? Having uncles that was all in and out of jail all the time, and then
Mhm.
just knowing what that was like, and then you watch this movie, like, man, this what they, and then coming, I had uncles do life bids in Texas and get out like
Right.
after serving them joints because he just slid a dude from head, like, you know what I mean, or just be like, or like I'm from Ohio, bro. You know what I mean? Prisons in Ohio.
A lot of them, man.
I mean, no, like for real,
Mhm.
and you don't even understand, like, and then my brothers, like, and then when I went to the service and you get out and everybody come out, man, you should be a CEO, man. I don't want no parts of that.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my brother did it, but sister-in-law did, like everybody around you, oh, you went to service. Like, no, you don't understand. Cause I know a lot of them folks in there. I don't care where
It's
they
a
at.
lot
I
of
know them
intelligent men
dudes.
in prison, though, man. It's a lot of intelligent men in prison.
But
A lot
but
of
but I'm
intelligent.
saying, like, it would be dudes like I like, now mind you, we talking about growing up in the 90s, in the
Yeah.
80s when stuff was what it was. You see what I'm saying? When New Jack City wasn't a movie, it was our life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was what we was really dealing with, and people just don't really, they look at it now and it's like, like, you don't, you watch Snowfall, like, it bring, like, it was
You know
triggering
what,
for me.
man?
It brought back some.
I
It
think
brought back some
Snowfall
real
was an exaggeration,
memories.
though, bro.
Huh?
I think Snowfall was an exaggeration. You know what I mean?
Listen, man. I'm telling you. For me, it brought back some memories like that was crazy for me, because I had a brother that, I mean, man, it was a lot. But I'm saying that to be like,
Hold on a second. Let
I'm
me get my
saying that to
man.
be like
Let me
those
bring my man.
those
Yeah,
type
man.
of things, like you got that type of where it's like that, but in the same token, you got people that glorify it, right? With prisoners glorified, with being locked up is, like the same. I don't know if you ever heard of it, like you got the dudes that go to college and graduate college, or go to the service, and then when they come back home, don't nobody give a damn. But
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you.
let my man go do a bid. Let my man go do a bid. Man, they shut the bar. They rid the whole club. You get what I'm saying? He having a cup. Not
I,
only not
I
only did he
know,
have a
man.
coming out party, he had a going in party too. When he left, he had a party on the way. You know what I'm saying? He was part owner of the club. He was part owner of the bar before he went in.
I mean, hey,
You
listen.
see what
One
I'm
of the most,
saying? But let a
the most.
brother graduate college or get out the service, man. They be like, they be screw facing you. I'm telling you.
I
This
know.
is
It's funny you said that because one of my friends, one of the most intelligent guys I know, went to prison, man, for like 15 years. Very very sharp, but he had a chance to go to college as well. But
Mm-hmm.
he's seen the quick. You know what I mean? And it can happen. But he's very intelligent, man. He could be a CEO. You know what I mean? Um, I don't want to knock prison because I think we have a lot of our men are just like you said don't have guidance at home, and they who are very intelligent though,
mm,
very very intelligent and have a lot of skills and a lot of knowledge, and just went down the wrong path. You know what I mean?
they went
But
for the pump. They went for the pump fake.
went for the pump fake. Maybe that may went for the
Hey,
pump
but just like my man said though, I know a lot of brothers that went in there and they got that game. Some of them, they go in there and they come back out and look, they go in there and get a
Hey,
little bit
Juicy
of
man.
game. They get
Listen, we got
educated. They go ahead and take those courses, get educated.
look.
Hey, I know a bunch of them. Hey, they come out, get businesses, and do the whole nine.
Mm-hmm.
We
That's
got
right.
Juicy.
Hey,
Listen, we got Juicy. Hey, Juicy, tell your story, man, and show how
I
powerful it
know a
is
lot of them.
to bounce back, man.
so
Yeah.
I'm gonna let y'all know I'm recording. I'm double recording because I'm on Instagram live right now, and so HBCU Original is right now listening to this.
Well, no, damn. Instagram Live is listening to HBCU Original. Hey, I'm all mixed up. But look, what I'm not mixed up about is what I want to tell y'all right now. So I'm a person that spent a lot of time inside, but what I owe what I owe y'all right now is the truth about my experience inside. I didn't want to be a person like the people that I seen inside that wasn't going home. I didn't want to be like the people that was like they was just gonna be there for a short time, so they was acting like it was a party. I knew I had a little time to be there. It was gonna be a nice little minute, but it wasn't gonna be forever. And I knew it wasn't gonna be a flyby, so I had to follow certain rules, right? So what I did is I mind my business and I turned my cell into a classroom. And so every book I could get my hands on, it took me away from the yard. It took me away from what's going on in the day room because I'm equipping myself with that knowledge. Of course, legal knowledge at first, right? But then I was like, well, I'm not going to give this time back. So all the things that I wanted to do in my life, relevant topics, I got every piece of material that I could get, like newspapers, whatever, magazines, whatever I could get on that. Even if it seemed like it was like way off, but it was mentioning about the subject. Education is so very important. And I say this on HBCU Original. Education is the key to fixing your poverty, your impoverished conditions, because knowledge is valuable. People will pay you for what you know. You know, people will pay you for what you know. You ain't got to have money already. All you got to do is know something. You got to know something. You got to know something that other people don't know on how to use it, when to use it. So that was my thing, man. Just, you know, because I didn't come from money. I didn't have family and homies that was sending me $50, $20, $100. So I had to do legal work. I had to, I know how to write poems and music. So I wrote poems for dudes on the on the Valentine's Day cards and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I like you have to unlock the potentials of your mind and stop acting like all these materials that we got, the vast materials that we got with the computer and these books that's out here in these libraries and these peoples, these oracles. We got to start using this information to get what we need to get, man, because we are in a situation where we in poverty. We in poverty. We in social poverty. We in social poverty. We in emotional poverty. You know what I'm saying? We got to start learning from these resources that already figured out the formula. The people, the books, the information, the internet, the magazines. We got to start researching these relevant topics that mean something to us to build ourselves up in that. Because I'm gonna say this, I got to bring it back to God, man. I got to bring it back to God, though. That was one of my main focuses, man, to learn, because I was trying to figure out why did God put me in a situation where I was going through this and I didn't do nothing. I didn't do what they saying I did. I ain't saying I didn't do nothing. I didn't do what they saying I did. I didn't commit what they said I committed, but I did all the time by myself, no co-defendants. So I had to arm myself with that knowledge of the law and stuff and trying to figure that out, trying to fight my case. But I'm like, that ain't working. So I went to God and God figured it out for me. He said, look, I'm gonna sit you down for a period so you can improve yourself. Because I was a gifted student growing up, right? I thought I knew every damn thing, but I didn't know how to control my temper. I didn't know how to control my anger. I didn't know how to control my lust for women. So that's why God sat me down. It wasn't because of what I did on the case. It's because he like, man, look, I got a better position for you. I made you the way you was for a reason. I made you intelligent. I made you a beautiful being because I got something for you, but you fucking it up because you gang banging. You fucking it up because you chasing after the wrong type of woman. That ain't what I got for you. That ain't how you set up. So education. I had to educate myself in the ways of God. I had to educate myself in the way of all worldly things so I can understand the world and understand my assignment and get to it. You know what I'm saying? Before you take an assignment, you got to study, right? So I studied, and I'm still studying. I study every day. And you know what? If I would tell you to study anything, I would tell you to study yourselves.
Mm.
What's yourself? What do you identify with as the self? What is yourself? And I started seeing myself in other people. I come from a certain rag. I start seeing myself in the other rag. I come from a certain skin tone, from a certain race. I start seeing myself in other skin tones and other races. I said, well, look at that. Well, look at that. There I go right there. And so that information, man, I hold dear to it, man, because I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here, man, if I didn't get that knowledge. You hear me? And it's still hard because I don't know everything. I just know a little bit about it now. I know a little bit. I'm entry level, but I'm still learning every day, and I'm gonna continue to learn it. It's like if it's a proverb, an African proverb, I believe. It says, "Seek knowledge to the cradle to the grave." That is the most noble quote ever, man, because knowledge truly is power. Knowledge of what though? Knowledge of self. You empower yourself when you got knowledge of self. When you got knowledge of this, that's what you get power in. So if I wanna get some power, I'm gonna learn. Oh, people learn about guns. They learn about all the wrong shit, and that ain't even no power.
Mm.
That's temporary power that can be taken and stripped from you. So I'm trying to get powered up, man. Give me some power. HBCU original power. You
Yeah,
hear me?
that's
You
good.
know?
Hey,
Yo,
listen. You
yo,
know,
he over there pumping
Ben
KRS.
earlier, talking the topic about the stocks and stocks and bonds and get, we got to get into the gold, we got to get to the silver, we got to get into just to building generational wealth. One of the things we don't have generational, and how do we, acquire that, man, so that we may not have, but our kids and their kids may be, what I mean, to you know continue the legacy, man.
Hey, I want to say something on that. Yeah, let me say something about that. I feel like the key to generational wealth and getting ourselves out of the the generational poverty that we've been having is by understanding credit and insurance. Credit and insurance. Because these are virtual ideas that have not been exactly translated into the Federal Reserve notes because money ain't nothing but paper. But
Mm-hmm.
insurance and credit ain't nothing but paper. But now they don't even waste paper on it. They just give it to you digital. So it's still that same idea, but that you can't see it, it's worth a lot more.
Right.
Because you see it in your mind. But if you can see it physically, that ain't nothing. But if you see it in your mind, it's a lot more vast. That's why we got to understand that it, like I said, insurance and credit, because you can't see it. It's on paper though. It's in the words, but it ain't represented by each note. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the value is there because it's the idea. It's the idea of support. It's the idea of another day. It's the idea of when I get right, I got you.
Mm.
That's what that is. But if people understood the concept of that system and applied it to their everyday life, as because it's a concept. They applied it, they understood that, then they would have a different life. They wouldn't be so impoverished. But
Mm.
that's why the idea is there. And those who embrace it live different lifestyles than those who don't. Than those who just think about the Federal Reserve note. All they think about is that note. That
Yeah.
something because they think it's tangible. But it's
Yeah.
not, it's not backed by what you said. It's not backed by the
Oh,
silver, the gold, the land. Why we don't got that? But it's a way to get it. It's a way to get it. We might not want the silver and the gold because you ain't melting it down to build nothing.
yeah.
You
Right.
ain't melting it down to build nothing.
No.
If you ain't gonna melt it down to build nothing, fuck that silver and go. You wear it around your neck, lose it, get robbed for it. That's cool. but it don't mean shit. So people walk around with these clothes and shit that shit can burn up. Excuse my language for cursing, but I get passionate.
I know.
Look, so what I'm saying is ideas. Ideas of wealth, of future wealth, is the only way to get to it. The thought is the cause of it all.
So let
So
me show
once
you
you
something
think,
quick.
yeah,
What you just said, I'm going to just time on it. Now, you see, we got 6 individuals on here. Welcome, Ben Benson. We got 6 individuals on here, right?
Road construction ahead.
That's $100 a piece. 1, 2, 3. That's $600.
see, there you are.
That's $600 right there. How can we take 100 from each person right here and put it into something?
Okay, well, I got a plan for y'all right now.
Hold on.
So
Before we do that plan, let me bring in Benson. Hey, Benson, we're speaking about 70 to 80% of the population who do not have between $1,000 or $5,000 saved up for a rainy day. Most Americans are living in poverty, as Juicy contested to, and we're struggling. Like you said, check, and how can we get out of that?
Do you guys agree that a common denominator with that issue across all demographics except for the rich is that this isn't taught in school? They teach you how to write a check, but they don't teach you about saving and investing in high school. Y'all got quiet.
You know what? I had to think.
Because you get back to a point that I brought up earlier. Because the point that I brought up earlier was the fact that I wasn't comfortable with what I was being taught, and as to they just want you to be in line and be a worker and be somebody. They not ask questions, not pay attention, not say, well, this don't make no sense to me, and why these So yeah, if you putting your head down, they want you to put your head down, work 8 hours, do this and that, and don't ask questions, and and all of that. But
can I ask you a question? So, how many of y'all had a savings account in high school or a checkers account?
In 1 mile, use the left 3 lanes and keep left towards Interstate 25 South.
I did because I had to. I mean, I did. It wasn't nothing in it, but I had it.
Okay.
Can't keep nothing in it, but I had one. It was my name.
Okay. Well, I mean, listen, this is a long time ago. Now, my first job I did in, who said that? Who was that paperboy? I think it was you said now I did the paperboy route.
Right.
Now they should give me a check. I think it was $5 a week, something like that. What was it? $5 a week.
Depending on how much you went collect.
So Juicy, I took the check, and I was a master. I'm an illustrator. I took the check. I took out. My uncle had a printing shop. I erased the. I erased the ink. Wrote on the check $100. For I had like 30 of them, man, and deposited them. Boom, boom. I might have been I think I was like 12. I think 11 or 12, man. And I didn't realize what was happening. So they complain and come back, $100 out of my account. I'm like, what?
Oh, so it was coming out the customer's account.
Yeah, I had like $3,000.
This back in the day, they thinking they got a little $5. It's $50. He hit them up for $50.
I had to go to court. My aunt went down there. She stabbed me. Yo, I had to give all the money back. That was my first taste with the the money.
Yo, hold up. Let me ask you something though. You at least went and bought the shoes first before you got caught, right? You went and bought the shoes, right? You at least went and bought the one piece.
I had a herringbone chain, man.
Because I know it was something that you had to go get. Like he's like, man, I gotta get that new hair. I knew it was something.
I had a herringbone. I bought the herringbone. I went with another jacket. Oh man, yeah. They came in. I didn't realize they were gonna come and get you, but they came and just showed up dead. Like, the door.
You ain't know that was a crime.
No.
Ain't nobody. Look. You learned that day, huh?
And so
And you know what? But we laughing, right? But that's the funny part about it. A lot of times, you get in a situation, you don't really, you just going along with the program, not realize this is a serious offense.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You be just going along with, you'll be in a situation, you be like, yeah, we just gonna take him and we gonna hold him, and until they give us their money they owe us. You don't realize like that's a real charge. Like that's called kidnapping. It ain't just something that you doing. Like, but you done been in a situation with somebody that told you like this is what we about to go do.
Mm-hmm.
And then be like, huh? Like, I mean, because you just young and you just doing stuff. You're like, man, all right, yeah, we about to go. Yeah, we ain't playing. Like whatever, right?
Right.
But it be some complications behind that. Not realizing real charges. Like because you're young, you
Deucey, man.
just fall in line.
you forgot I was talking about the time that I went and got the paper route, and people would give me checks, and I had the liquid solution to remove all ink. I put it on the checks, remove all the ink, and rewrite. You know what I mean? The number, the amount, what it was supposed to give me. So, the moral of the story is, you know what I mean? Don't write a check that you're behind can't.
Had to take that herringbone back.
I cashed like 30 checks. I was 11 years old, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, he was a young thief.
Criminal mastermind.
Nah, but see, but my uncle said, listen, man, we gotta take the knowledge you got. Because I was a master, I could draw, artist. So and my uncle had the printing business, man. And that's when I got hip to the printing the printing business and started doing that, you know what I mean? So honing my skills. So thank God for him, you know what I mean? And hey man, it's a learning lesson.
That's amazing. I would never figure that out about you, man.
The good thing is, right? Like you said, it was that like you went through what you went through, but it wasn't but you learned your lesson at that point. Like, and I ain't say I don't know what your life is. I know you did some other stuff, but I'm just saying at a point when you was younger, that was some lesson learned at that point. Like whether if you took advantage of it or it was just a lesson learned,
The good thing is he learned it young.
Yeah, I learned it young. But now let me tell you, now I had to make mistakes along the way, so don't get it twisted. I made some other mistakes as well, and some incidents, man. But one thing I try to not do the same thing twice, man. And but more importantly, man, how can we help our young people really get a grasp to do something going forward? Like we got my brother Ben over here. He's on the road. You can see him live right now. He's a trucker, man. He's going across the country, young blood, getting that money, getting that paper. We got Ducey out there. You know what I mean? He's doing investments, stuff like that. Benson, he is
retired.
He's retired, but he also, man, the connoisseur. You see the video. You see the layout in the back. He's a video professor. We got the man alone. He's into all types of stuff, man. He got. Oh, and matter of fact, before I go too far, let me bring in his actual new show coming up. You guys can tune in. Let me go ahead and put that up there real quick.
Man De Leon.
Can't hear it.
Live.
You hear me? Hey,
so that'll be coming up.
No sound. No sound. Just visual.
The sound with that on me. Oh, hold on a second. Let's play that back again. I apologize, people.
It looks good. It looks good.
Hey, this the Al Capone of the microphone, and you're tuned in to Man De Leon Live. Welcome to Man De Leon, straight with no chaser.
So that will be coming out pretty soon. So you guys are welcome to be on there. Hey, Ducey, man, you might. Matter of fact, you gonna interview Ducey, man. Listen,
Yeah,
and
man.
have him
Look,
come on there. He
you
be your
know.
first person. And also for those who need services, hey man, that's your boy, man. So the intro, that's what I do. That's what I do. Video work.
yeah.
But yeah, like I mean, but seriously, we have a lot of people on here that really have some talents. Also can help you, like you said, make money and get into different positions, in life that you may didn't have an opportunity to. You know what I mean? If you're a young person listening in, and listen, you don't want to go to college. Listen, you can do the CDL route. A man just told you all you gotta do. They got free programs. You can go down to the Department of Labor. They got grant money for you, man. And go get the CDL. You know.
Hey, I want to say something real quick, if I could, just really brief, right? I want to tell the young people that are watching, if you in your teens or you in your early 20s or late 20s, because you still a kid to me if you that old. But anyway, no, but listen, for real. Your friends are not your friends just because you grew up with them. Your friends are not your friends just because you grew up with them. Just because they live in your neighborhood, just because they went to your school, though they don't make them your friends. Even if y'all didn't have a fight or whatever, y'all don't have physical altercation, y'all be around each other, that don't make them your friend. You choose your friends and choose your friends wisely because your friends are the people who want the best for you. Your friends are the people who are doing things that you want to do, and they support you in trying to do those things. Those are your friends. Choose your
Mm-hmm.
friends wisely.
Yeah, because everybody
Hey,
ain't in your corner, man.
just real quick on that. Just so they know too, it ain't always gotta be their friends. It could be their family. They be the same ones. That when you tell them that you doing something, and then and they be like, and then they
Hey,
change the subject. They do see you would tell them you got good music. You be like, man, I performed with Jada Kiss today. They be like, they start telling you about somebody else and what they did and who they did with. You be
Yeah,
like,
hating
oh
on you,
no, y'all
man.
ain't talking about me.
Hey, listen. I mean, a funny thing when I first started this network, man. And the hate, the hate was kind of unreal, man. And I don't like to call myself talented,
You
but I know I
talented.
have a God-given gift to bring you footage or whatever it may be, um, expressing through video, expressing through design. That's my talent. That's my God-given gift. That's my purpose. I think finally, after all these years, I call myself professional. And I always want this give. I try to give advice as much as possible, but some people don't want it. They feel like if they didn't do it, then Um, but I'm not that way. I like to help everybody, man. Give you opportunity, give you a chance. I mean, you can ask Benson, man. I brought Benson down to a couple of our games. He shot film and footage. I bring a lot of people down. Give opportunity to do what you want. To exploit your gift and whatever, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And my thing is always help.
Put
Just
me on.
help others, man. Help others, man. That's my motto. Help others if you can. Hey, anybody got anything new before we head out, man? This was just a brief moment. We want to touch base on that topic, but anybody got anything new they want to talk about or information they want to give out to the people, man?
Hey, I just want everybody to go check out the Love Radio, man. That's a
Oh yeah,
old school hip hop, R&B, and Southern soul online 24/7 station. My man, you riding in the truck. I don't know what type of music you like, but if you grew up on some old school music and some good music or like Southern soul or some whatever, man, you just gonna love this type of station, man. It
hey,
ain't you
what's
ain't
the
gonna ain't gonna be a
what's
bunch of
the website for
commercials.
that?
It's called The Love Radio. So DALOVE radio.com. If you put it all together, you can just The Love Radio, go just type it in, take you right to the website. I'm trying to tell you, it's gospel early in the morning. Like after 9 o'clock, you're gonna hear them slow joints. If you got a little show, then you be like, look, so that Pandora be having them commercials and stuff, man. YouTube be having them dumb commercials. You be able to go put skip and stuff, man. You ain't gotta go put skip on this, man. Just go ahead and put it
Okay.
in.
For Love
They
Radio.
got,
Okay, I'm gonna
wait a
check
minute.
it
You
out.
always need that good playlist. You always
Yeah.
need that good playlist.
I'm trying to tell you. Listen, I do see. I'm gonna send it to you. As
Yeah,
soon as we get up
Hey,
off
hey,
here, I'm gonna send you the link. I'm trying to tell you,
I
man,
need that. I
you
need.
ain't gonna be disappointed, man.
hey,
And
Ben,
I'm gonna
give people
start
the
putting more of
information
our
too.
promo. I'm gonna start putting the
Huh?
promo on there, HBCU Original and all of that. I'm gonna go ahead and put the sponsors because HBCU, he don't know it, but he about to be officially a sponsor of the Love Radio. So we're gonna go ahead and make all that happen.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking
Hey,
about.
hmm
hey,
That's what I'm talking about. We gotta work with each other, man. I just want to emphasize that again. We gotta work with each other, man. Man, I'm just so honored to be a part of this, man. Thank you again for having me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man, the input and the insight that y'all give me as other black men, because I don't know every damn thing. I'm learning, but be patient with me.
Hey, but you know,
Thank
I want to say this though. You know, the beautiful part about this, my man Ducey, where you at? You in St. Louis, right?
you. Yeah.
Right. Well, my man Ben, where you at?
I'm in Townsend. That's outside of Middletown, Delaware.
You okay? Vince, you in Philly?
yes, Philadelphia.
My man driving. Look, my man is all over the world. I don't know where he at.
Man, I'm in New Mexico right now.
He in New Mexico.
Getting
See
that
that?
money.
My point is, look, we done stretched the four corners. You know what I mean? We out
Yeah.
there. So I mean, just on this alone. So
Mhm.
and just on this alone, we connected, and you know what I'm saying. Like I say, man, it just I feel good about this too, just like you do, man. I mean, it's always a good thing just seeing brothers just kind of got, you know, everybody kind of got something going on where we can bring it all together.
Hey, also, man, Ben has a powerful thing. He gives out information on business. Ben, what is that page? He talks about a lot of different things as far as on his business side. What's the Instagram again?
It's just my name on there now, just Uncle Ben. But I'm doing just
Uncle
showing my
Ben.
journey through the stock market, trying to been learning about different companies, researching, and just trying to see how I can try and basically create my exit plan out of this. I don't want to do this forever, but I use this as like it's a good vehicle to help me get to where I'm trying to get at.
Yeah,
So
check him out, Uncle
But look,
Ben.
but don't be gatekeeping on them good tips now.
Tell
I'm
him
talking
get
about
at
the
me.
ones you don't, I'm
Tell
talking
him
about the
get
ones
at
you
me
don't put on
ASAP.
Instagram. I'm talking about the ones that ain't on Instagram. You can just hit me like, yo, I put something on.
okay,
Hey, you
yeah,
guys.
definitely.
Put this amount, look, and be 100 with me. Like, tell me if I need to put, because like I be looking into stuff, but I don't, like if you don't really know enough, you don't.
Be
I'm not really
paranoid.
investing. I'm
Yeah.
just I'm just putting stuff, seeing what it do. I really don't know what I'm
Oh,
doing. Like I'm being
yeah, I've been
honest.
I've been focusing on like cybersecurity companies and
Okay.
artificial intelligence. That's kind of like we like in the golden era of that right now. So
Right. Right.
I'm right now I'm still in my learning stages. So I'm just trying to learn as much as I can, so that way I can feel a little more connected to these companies, so I don't feel like
Right.
I'm gambling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was on kind of on what you on too, like some of the stuff I was looking into, like because that's just what it, that's just what it is. Those are the things that are gonna change depending on what, everything everywhere we going right now.
Hmm.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Hey, Benson,
Hey,
you got
hey,
anything going on?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just
I'm
I'm
documenting my journey.
intrigued. I'm intrigued about the fact that several entities have been coming out with these apps that you put on your phone, and these apps will track the way expert investors have been investing, and it'll automatically allow you to invest exactly the way they're investing, like
That's what I need right there. That's the one I
Nancy
was looking for.
Pelosi.
That's the one. That's the app I'm looking for.
Oh
Hey,
yeah,
listen,
I'm
I just seen
serious.
that today.
I'm serious because you look. I'm really done looked up some and I'll be like, nah, that ain't it because I know they got some out there. Like, I looked up like a whole bunch of them. Like that ain't
Yeah,
it. That
punch
ain't
in
it.
what's the name of the app
Uncle
that
Ben.
follows Nancy
Reach out to
Pelosi?
Ben too. He'll give you
Huh?
information. Hey, Juicy, what you got going on? Tell the people, man, what's up?
Excuse me, I got the name of it. It's autopilot.
Got it.
Autopilot.
okay.
You ain't
I,
said
I
nothing.
I just wanted to say, tell the brother with this truck. if he's looking for some investment, like I
yeah.
got something that's good that's going on. Hey, I didn't want to say this over the waves. Like it's unofficial.
That's all right. Hey, you can text me.
Give it to him.
Hey, you can text me.
Just stay online. Just give it to him. Just stay online. Put it in the chat box. Put it in the
No, but you can text me, dude. You text me.
All right, I got you. I got you. Look, boy, have I got the deal for you.
Yeah, I think Ben. I think Ben. You might. I think you'll like this one, Ben. Let me. I'll put it in the chat box for everybody.
So everybody wrote down the name of that app, Autopilot.
I got it. I got it. Look, I got that thing pulled up,
and that was free. And that was free.
Right now.
Hey, De Leon, that was free.
I got you.
We want to also.
That's all. Look, I'll be 100 with it. I'm for real. That's all. I'm serious. Like, man, show me something. You know, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna do.
Are you on Mac or are you on Android or?
I got an Android.
I'm riding in the bad zone.
Who's on Android?
I'm on Android.
Everybody on Android?
I am.
Yeah.
I don't know about nobody.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I think everybody is, but everybody but me. I'm on Mac on iOS.
Hey,
anyway,
let me get this out there real quick. Also, so this weekend, listen, we're a proud sponsor. Let me bring this up real quick. We're a proud sponsor of the Caribbean Festival, one of the largest in South Jersey. If you guys are in the area,
the South Jersey Caribbean Festival presents the 25th anniversary on the Camden Waterfront in Camden, New Jersey. Saturday, July 12th. Live on stage, Nyla Blackman, the Soca Queen. Also featuring Julian Lee. Come out and have fun. Food, vendors, live performances. 2 to 8 p.m. Everyone's invited. See you there.
So listen, we're definitely a proud sponsor of that. So listen, if you come out Saturday, listen, it'll be a great event. Family event. It's free. Got a lot of national, international talent. Hey, check us out.
For sure.
So definitely, man, this has been a great show today. Listen, we want to welcome, thank everybody, our guests that came on today. Listen, if you, we'll have a lot of information inside the description box for you guys as well. Check out some of those key tips for the stocks and also the apps that they talked about today. We'll also have some more information for you about what's upcoming in the next couple weeks. We'll be at the MEAC opening day down in Baltimore, Maryland, attending with Michael Vick, Deshaun Jackson, and a few other NFL greats. So listen, look out for that as well. Hey, man, this is Vince. Listen, this is HBCU Original. We want to say thanks for joining us today. Peace.